Okay, y'all. This is episode 2. Let's just jump right into it. Hey there.
Hello. What's on your mind today?
So, I was recently learning about a phenomenon in nature that happens in large sand dunes called singing sand when I was listening to a documentary about Dune, the making of Dune, the movie with Mark Mangini and the director Denis Villeneuve. Can you tell me more about that specific natural phenomenon?
That's a fascinating topic. Singing sand, also known as booming sand, is a natural phenomenon where sand dunes emit sounds that can resemble a low rumble, a hum, or even a musical note. This usually occurs when the sand grains are round and between zero point 0.1 and zero point 0.5 millimeters in diameter, which allows them to be well sorted and contain silica and have the right level of humidity. The sound is typically produced when the sand grains glide over each other, often set off by winds or by walking on the sand. The exact mechanics behind why certain dunes sing while others do not is still a topic of research, but it's known that the conditions have to be just right, including the size of the sand grains, the sand's moisture content, and the layering of the grains on the dune. In the context of a movie like Dune, which features vast desert landscapes, such a phenomenon could be a rich source of inspiration for the sound design, giving a unique and otherworldly auditory experience to the shifting sands of the desert planet. Did the documentary explore how they incorporated natural sounds like these into the film's soundscape?
Yeah, it was really cool. They wanted to almost film it more like a documentary, so everything felt really realistic, and they pulled as many natural sounds as they could.
That's a really immersive approach to filmmaking. Using natural sound not only enhances the authenticity of the environment, but also deeply engages the audience, making them feel like they're actually part of that world. It's particularly effective in a movie like Dune, where the setting is so integral to the story. Pulling natural sounds from phenomena like singing sands must have added a lot of depth to the scenes on the desert planet, making the environment feel alive and dynamic. It's amazing how such details can transform the viewing experience. Are you thinking of exploring more about sound design in film? Or was there another aspect of Dune or its production that caught your interest?
Yeah, I've been kind of on a sound design rabbit hole recently.
That sounds like a fascinating journey. Sound design is such an integral part of creating the atmosphere and emotion in film. It can really pull you into the story. Are there any specific aspects of sound design or types of sound you're finding particularly interesting? Maybe how they create certain effects or how they blend different sounds together?
I just found it really interesting because I've always been into movies and stuff like that, but I never really like took a long thought about how integral the sound is because it's so subtle sometimes.
Absolutely. The subtlety of sound design is what makes it so powerful. It's often not fully noticed by the audience, but it deeply affects how we experience a film. It's like an undercurrent that guides our emotions and reactions, from the tension building whispers of a thriller to the sweeping scores of epic dramas. Since you're diving into this aspect of filmmaking, interesting to explore how different filmmakers use sound to tell their stories. For example, looking at how horror movies use sound to create suspense and fear, or how documentaries use natural sound to enhance authenticity. Each genre has its own unique approach to sound. Is there a particular type of movie or a specific film whose sound design you'd like to delve into more deeply?
I don't know. That's a hard one. The easiest route is to go to horror films because when I think of sound design, like my mind kind of goes in that realm. But uh, really, there's so many different aspects of it to explore.
You're right. Horror films are often highlighted for their use of sound to build suspense and evoke fear. But sound design is crucial across all genres and can be just as creative and impactful elsewhere. For instance, in dramas, subtle background noises can enhance the emotional depth of a scene, or in science fiction, innovative sounds can help create believable, otherworldly environments. If you're interested in a broader exploration, You might enjoy looking at films known for their immersive soundscapes. Movies like Blade Runner 2049 or Gravity use sound in innovative ways to create their world and enhance the narrative. Or even animated films where the entire environment is built from scratch, including every sound you hear, which is a fascinating process to delve into. What do you think about expanding your exploration into different genres to see how they handle sound design?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about building sound design out for use on a website.
That's a really cool idea. Using sound design on a website can greatly enhance the user experience, making it more engaging and immersive. Depending on the purpose of the site, you could use background sounds to set the mood, interactive sounds that respond to user action, or even narrative audio to guide visitors through the content. Are you thinking about a particular theme or feeling you want to evoke with the sound design on your website? Or is there a specific function you want the audio to serve?
Yeah, I want it to make it feel like you're in the yard or the workshop. But the problem that I'm having is I think it is slowing the loading down on the pages.
Creating an atmospheric soundscape like a workshop yard is a great idea, but it's understandable that audio files might affect the page loading speed. Here are a couple of strategies you could consider to minimize the impact. 1. Optimize audio files. Make sure the audio files are compressed and in a format that balances quality with file size, like MP3 or AAC. Tools like Audacity or Adobe Audition can help compress and manage audio quality. 2. Lazy load audio. Instead of loading the audio files immediately when the page loads, you could implement lazy loading. This means the audio only starts loading when it's needed or when a certain part of the page is reached. 3. Use efficient coding practices. Ensure that the way the audio is integrated into the site is optimized. This could involve asynchronous loading or handling audio playback with efficient JavaScript. 4. Testing and feedback. Regularly test the site's performance with tools like Google PageSpeed Insights to see how the audio affects loading times and get specific recommendations for improvements. Would these approaches help address the loading issue, or were you considering any other solutions?
I don't know, I really have a lot to learn about web design.
That's totally okay. Starting with the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript can give you a solid foundation, and from there you can explore more specific topics like audio integration and page optimization. If you're just getting started, you might consider online courses from platforms like Codecademy, Khan Academy, or FreeCodeCamp. They offer step-by-step lessons that can help you build up your skills at your own pace. Also, playing around with simple projects can be a great way to learn. For example, you could start by adding a small sound effect to a button or link on a web page. Is there a particular area in web design you're most interested in starting with? Or do you have any specific projects in mind that you'd like to work on?
Honestly, you've been the most helpful to kind of just start a website from scratch. The code that you've given me has been really great to kind of play around with.
I'm really glad to hear that you found the code helpful. Starting from scratch and playing around with it is a fantastic way to learn and understand how things work. As you continue to experiment and build your website, you'll get more comfortable and can start adding more complex features, like your sound design ideas. If you have any questions as you go, or need more snippets or explanations about certain parts of web development, feel free to ask. It's great to hear about your progress, and I'm here to help you along the way. What's the next step you're planning to take with your website?
Probably just build it up little by little using what I know at a time.
That sounds like a solid plan. Building up gradually will allow you to understand each part thoroughly and see how they all fit together. It's a great way to ensure you're comfortable with the basics before adding more complex elements. Plus, seeing your website evolve and improve over time can be really satisfying and motivating. If you ever run into a snag or just want to bounce ideas around, I'm here to help. Enjoy the process of building your site, and I'm looking forward to hearing about all the cool features you implement.
Okay, I had some questions of just about your capabilities. Like, how far or how recent are the data sources that you're pulling from?
I can provide information and insights based on a variety of sources up until December 2023. For general knowledge, historical information, or established concepts, I pull from a comprehensive database of information I was trained on. However, I don't have the capability to access or retrieve real time data directly. If you need information or updates beyond that, especially for recent events or developments, I can help guide you on where to find the most current data or suggest how to verify the latest details using reliable sources. What specific information are you looking for?
That's actually pretty recent.
Yes, it's quite up to date. This helps in providing relevant and current information for most topics. If there's anything specific you need to know or any topic you want to explore further, just let me know. I'm here to help with any questions you might have.
Yeah, I had a question about how you go about sifting through info on the internet and determining what's real or not.
That's a great question. When it comes to determining the reliability of information, there are a few key practices that help ensure accuracy. One, source quality. I rely on a training dataset that includes a broad range of high quality sources, such as educational materials, books, trusted news outlets, and peer reviewed research. This helps in starting with information that is already vetted to a certain extent. Two, cross verification. For many topics, especially those that are complex or widely discussed, the information is cross checked across multiple sources. This helps in identifying and mitigating any biases or inaccuracies that might be present in a single source. Three, context and recency. The context in which information is presented and its recency are also considered. This is particularly important for fast changing fields like technology and medicine. Four, analytical models. The model uses algorithms that are trained to recognize patterns of factual accuracy and to differentiate between types of content, such as opinion versus reported fact. For users, when checking the reliability of information online, it's beneficial to look at the source's credibility, check multiple sources, and consider the recency of the information. Are there specific types of information or topics you're particularly interested in verifying?
No, I just wanted to know your methods.
Feel free to ask anything.
So it sounds like you use a lot of kind of diversification of sources.
Exactly. Diversifying sources is crucial for ensuring the accuracy and reliability of information. By pulling from a wide array of reputable sources, from academic journals to established news outlets, the model can cross reference information to help verify facts and provide a balanced perspective. This approach helps in minimizing biases and inaccuracies that might be present if relying on a single source. It's a good practice in general, whether you're a machine learning model or someone researching information manually.
How do you determine whether a source is reputable or not?
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
No. All right. Sounds like that's the end for today. Peace, y'all.